Hello everyone, this is Asra Sultana, Assistant Professor in Triple Department, working in ISL Engineering College. I am taking the subject Electrical Machines 1 for Triple third year students. So today I am going to start the third unit for Electrical Machines 1 subject. So third unit consists of DC generator. First unit we have seen about all basics, laws and about magnetism. Faraday's law, Lenz's law, Ampere's law, Biot-Savart's law, and all the properties of magnetic materials and electromechanical energy conversion and few numericals also we have seen. Then second unit we have seen about the construction of a DC machine, what is armature reaction, commutation. We have seen about the types of windings, lap winding, wave winding, their numericals we have seen. So in third unit we will see everything about DC generator, and fourth unit is all about DC motor, fifth unit is about transformers. Okay. Now in the third unit we are going to see about armature circuit equation for generation, types of field excitation separately and self-excited, shunt, series and compound, open circuit characteristics of separately excited DC generator, back EMF with armature reaction, voltage buildup in shunt generator, critical field resistance and critical speed, VI characteristics of generators. So see students, as you are having mid-exam starting from tomorrow onwards, so I have included two questions, two short questions in the mid-exam that I will be discussing in this video. Of course, the topic is later, but I am discussing it in the starting itself because these are the repeated questions in the previous year's papers. I have seen it. So I have given those questions in your mid-exam also. So today's video we can find answers for the solutions of the questions which I have given for the third unit in your important questions for mid-exam. Okay. So let us start our third unit. Let us first see what are the various types of DC generators. So let us first see what exactly is a generator. Generator is a machine which converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. So DC generator will give me a DC output, DC electrical energy, and AC generator will give a AC output, AC electrical energy. So I want DC output, that's why we are using a commutator which will convert AC to DC. So let us see the types now. Okay. So magnetic field in a DC generator is normally produced by electromagnets rather than permanent magnets. This point already we have seen. So what is the meaning of electromagnets? Electromagnets is nothing but through electricity we are making a material as a magnet. That is called as electromagnet, like solenoid. So what we are doing here is electromagnet is not a magnet. Okay, it is not a permanent magnet actually. So unless and until an electricity is applied to it, it will be a magnet. Otherwise, it will not be a magnet. Okay. Then what we are doing, because we are generators are of very large size, we are not using permanent magnets in those generators. We are going for electromagnets. Okay. So generators are generally classified according to the method of field excitation, that is how their field is excited, whether it is separately excited or self-excited. Based on this, generators are classified as separately excited DC generators and self-excited DC generators. So this can be taken as types of excitation or types of DC generators. Okay, I have given this question in long LAQ. I have given this question. Explain briefly about types of DC generators. So you have to explain all the types of DC generators. Okay. So what we are telling here, that magnetic field is in a generator is usually made up of electromagnets rather than permanent magnets, and generators are classified according to their method of excitation. On this basis, DC generators are divided as separately excited DC generators and self-excited DC generators. Now let us see this diagram. All of you should draw this diagram in the exam also. All of you please make a note of this now also in your notebooks. Final exams also you draw this diagram, students. Very important. So separately excited DC generators and self-excited DC generators. So under this heading we are going to see a DC generator whose field magnet winding is supplied from an independent external DC source like battery, then it is called a separately excited generator. When the field winding is supplied from armature of generator itself, then it is called as self-excited generator. So what is the meaning of separately and self-excited? Separately is excited is the one whose field magnet winding is supplied from an independent external DC source like a battery. Whereas self-excited generator is the one whose field winding is supplied from the armature of the generator itself. Okay. Now let us see the classification. Okay, separately excited, it will be like this diagram. If you see the diagram of a or the representation, how to represent this armature winding and field winding. Here A1, A2 are the armature windings, G is the generator, and these two are the brushes. Okay, and F1, F2 is the field winding here, and this is separately excited. Okay, field winding is separately excited through some battery, then it is separately excited. Self-excited, what I said, this field winding will be excited from the the power supplied from the armature itself, armature of the generator itself. So under self-excited, there are three types: shunt, series, and compound. Shunt means what? Armature winding is in parallel with the field winding. Okay, so A1, A2 is the armature winding. I am not drawing winding here, but I am writing the symbol of armature winding as A1 and A2 here. So armature winding is in parallel with field winding, then it is called as shunt generator. Armature winding is in series with the field winding, then it is called as series generator. And both series and parallel connections are there, then it is compound generator. Under compound we are having long shunt and short shunt. So if the in this diagram you can see this is a series winding, then this is shunt winding. If they are connected at one point like this, then it is long shunt. And if field winding is connected not to the upper point but to the lower point of series winding, then it is short shunt. See students, if the winding is connected in parallel, then we are representing it by F1, F2. If the winding is connecting in series, then we are representing it by S1, S2. Okay. And number of windings in series will be less compared to number of windings in parallel. So like this you can differentiate your winding, which type of winding is it, S1, S2, and less number of windings, then it is series. F1, F2, more number of windings, then it is shunt or parallel. Is it clear everyone? So what we are telling here, DC generators are classified as separately excited and self-excited generators based on the type of excitation. If the field winding is excited separately from a external source, then it is separately excited, and if the field winding is excited from the armature of generator itself, then it is called as self-excited. Under self-excited we have shunt, series, and compound. Shunt means armature winding is in parallel with the field winding. Series means armature winding is in series with the field winding. Compound means both series and parallel connections will be there, and based on how series and parallel are connected to each other, they are classified as long shunt and short shunt. One more classification of compound is there: cumulative compound and differential compound. That we will see in later classes, of course. So, is it clear? Please note down these diagrams. Now we will see separately excited DC generator separately, and we will find out what are its current, voltage, power. Okay. Equations. We are going to find out the current, voltage, and power equations for each type of generator. Now we will start with the separately excited generator. When the field winding is supplied from external separate DC supply, that is excitation of field winding is separate, then the generator is called as separately excited generator. So figure below shows the connections of a separately excited generator. So here we can see here, this is a DC supply, this is resistance, some variable resistance. IF is a field current, F1, F2 is there here. This is generator, EG is the EMF generated in a generator, RA is the armature resistance, IA is the armature current. IL is the load current, because load is connected here, so IL is the load current. V is the terminal voltage. So armature current IA, armature current is equal to load current here. IA is equal to IL because they are in series. These two currents are in same line. Same line means what? Currents will be equal. Terminal voltage V is equal to E minus IaRa, or E is equal to V plus IaRa plus V brush plus brush contact drop. Sorry, V brush is nothing but brush contact drop, BCD. See students, The EMF equation of a generator is, general equation I am telling you here, E is equal to V plus IARA. Please remember this one. E is equal to V plus IARA. Now we are adding here one more term called as V brush. V brush is nothing but brush contact drop. Some amount of voltage will be there present at the brushes also. Some amount of voltage will get dropped at the brushes also. That is brush contact drop. It will be very small, like 1 volt or 2 volt, and it can be neglected. So compared to Vg and V, this value is very small, and sometimes it can be neglected, and in some numericals if they are mentioning the value of V brush, then only you take into account. Otherwise this entire term is neglected. So E is equal to V, Eg is equal to V plus IARA. From this I am writing V is equal to Eg minus IARA. Okay. Electric power developed here, whatever power developed is Eg into Ia, and power given to the load is Eg Ia minus Ia square Ra, or Ia if I take common, Eg minus Ia Ra or VIA. So in simple terms what we can say, current equation is that Ia is equal to IL, and terminal voltage is V is equal to Eg minus Ia Ra. Power developed in armature is Eg Ia, power delivered to load is V into Ia. I hope this is clear to everyone. Self-excited DC generator. A DC generator whose field winding is supplied current from the output of the generator itself, then it is called a self-excited generator. When the armature is rotated, small voltage will be induced in the armature winding due to residual flux. See here, very important term, residual flux. What we are telling here, how exactly is it without switching on the machine, how a field winding will take the current from the armature winding? This is our doubt, this is the question. So further the answer is the presence of residual magnetism or residual flux. DC generator whose field winding is supplied current from the output of the generator itself, then it is called as self-excited generator. When the armature is rotated, small voltage drop is induced in the armature winding due to residual flux in the poles. This voltage produces a small field current in the field winding and causes the flux per pole to increase. Increased flux increases the induced voltage, which further increases the field current. These events takes place rapidly and the generator builds up to the rated generator voltage. So whatever voltage is present in the armature when it is rotated, some small amount will be present, and because of residual magnetism, some amount of flux will be present, already present inside the armature, and this voltage will produce. So as armature is a closed circuit, it will some small amount of voltage is induced because of this residual flux, and this small voltage will produce a small current, and flux per pole will increase, and this increased flux will increase the induced voltage, and which will increase the current. Eventually what is happening, voltage is increasing, current is increasing, voltage is increasing. So and these events will take place rapidly and the generator builds up the rated generated voltage. And there are three types of self-excited generators depending upon the manner in which the field winding is connected to the armature, that is series, shunt and compound generators. Series generator. In a series wound generator, field winding is connected in series with armature winding so that whole armature current flows through the field winding as well as load. So as we have seen the diagram also for a series generator, what we have seen there, field winding will be connected in series with the armature winding so that whole armature current flows through the field winding as well as load. Since the field winding carries the whole of the load current, it has few turns of thick wire having low resistance. Series generators are rarely used except for special purposes like in case of boosters. So this is the diagram of a series generator where we can see a generator is there, armature winding is in series with the field winding, load will be connected here. So IA is the armature current, ISC is the series field current, the current flowing in this winding is ISC, IL is the load current. So armature current IA is equal to ISC is equal to IL here. Let us say it has some current I. Terminal voltage V is equal to Eg minus I into Ra plus RSC, because Ra is the armature resistance and RSC is also there here. So we have to add these two resistances. So V is equal to Eg minus I into Ra plus RSC. Power developed in armature is EgIa and power given to the load is V into Ia. Now let us see shunt generator. In a shunt generator, field winding is connected in parallel with the armature winding, so the terminal voltages of generator is applied across it, and the shunt winding has many number of fine wire having high resistance. Therefore, only a part of armature current flows through shunt field winding and the rest will flow through the load. So in what we are telling here, shunt generator field winding is in parallel with the armature winding. So the terminal voltage of generator is applied across it. Shunt winding has many number of fine wires having high resistance. So many number of turns will be there in a shunt winding. Therefore, only a part of armature current will flow through the shunt winding and the rest will flow through the load. So here you can see in this diagram, IA, which is generated by the generator armature current, or the current generated by the armature, is getting divided into two parts, that is ISH and IL. So armature current IA is equal to IL plus ISH, and ISH is equal to V by RSH. Always you have to remember that in shunt ISH is V by RSH and IA is equal to IL plus ISH, and V is equal to EG minus IARA, or E is equal to V plus IARA. Power developed in armature is EGIA, power given to the load is VIL. Compound generator. In a compound generator, there are two sets of field windings on each pole. One is in series, another one is in parallel with the armature. Normally, majority of MMF is provided by the shunt field. Two windings may be connected to aid each other, or they may oppose each other. Okay, as I said earlier, if the windings are connected in such a way that they are aiding each other, okay, then it is cumulative compound motor or generator. And if they are opposing, if the two windings are opposing each other, then it is differential compound. A compound wood generator may be short shunt or long shunt. Let us first see the short shunt. Short shunt generator is the one in which only shunt field winding is in parallel with the armature winding. Okay, so what we are telling here, this can be a diagram, or this can be a diagram for short shunt. So in short shunt, only shunt field winding is in parallel with the armature, whereas series winding is in series. Okay. So now we will see the equations for current, voltages and power. So see, series field current ISC is equal to IL. This ISC is equal to IL, and shunt field current ISH is V plus ISC RSC by RSH, and terminal voltage will be V is equal to EG minus IARA minus ISC RSC, or power developed in armature is EGIA, and power given to the load is VIL. Long shunt, let us see now. Okay, long shunt generator, compound generator. All of you note down the diagram of long shunt generator. So long shunt generator is the one in which shunt field winding is in parallel with both series field and armature winding. So series field current ISC is equal to IA, that is equal to IL plus ISH, and shunt field current ISH is V by RSH. Terminal voltage is V is equal to EG minus IA into RA plus RSC, and power developed in armature is EGIA. Power given to the load is VIL. See students, all these diagrams, that is separately excited shunt generator, series generator, compound, under compound, long shunt, short shunt. 5 diagrams and equations related to these diagrams you have to remember. Okay. So in the mid exam I have given short questions. Give the conditions to build up voltage in shunt generator. So for that question, this is the answer. First one is, what are the conditions to build up the voltage in shunt generator? First one is shunt winding should have residual magnetic field. Second one is the direction of shunt winding and armature winding should be in such a way that flux generated by them should aid each other. Okay. What is the first point? Shunt winding should have residual magnetic field. First point is shunt winding should have residual magnetic field. Second point is direction of shunt winding and armature winding should be in such a way that flux generated by them should aid each other. Third point, if excited on open circuit, then its shunt field resistance should be less than the critical field resistance. If excited on load, then its shunt field resistance should be more than a certain minimum value of resistance, which is given by internal characteristics. So one more short question I have given. So those four points are enough, sir, students, to write the conditions to be build up voltage in a shunt generator. Of course, this topic we will discuss in detail in the later classes. But internal exam point of view, you can write these 4 points. It's enough. Okay. Now next question is define critical resistance of a DC shunt generator. See, these are the previous year's papers questions which I have solved and put it in the WhatsApp group. All 5 units notes I have given in the WhatsApp group, students. Please go through it. Don't put any personal messages to the faculty or anybody from the department that I have not given notes. Please check the WhatsApp group. And first you see it, then only you can tell that I have given or not the notes. Okay. So not only notes, I have given all previous year's papers. I have given the unit-wise important questions. I have given the solved question paper also. So please do it, all of you. Okay. Just look at the WhatsApp group of your class and go through all the notes. Now, let us come to our topic, that is define critical resistance of a DC shunt generator. Critical field resistance is defined as the maximum field circuit resistance for a given speed with which the shunt generator would excite. Okay. What is the critical field resistance? It is the maximum field resistance with which the shunt generator will excite. Excite means what? Excitation means what we are telling it, switching on. Okay, that is called as excite. The shunt generator will build up voltage only if a field circuit resistance is less than the critical field resistance. So shunt generator, what is the condition? Okay, so shunt generator will build up voltage only if field circuit resistance is less than the critical field resistance. So critical field resistance is what is the maximum resistance with which the shunt generator will excite. Okay, along with critical resistance, one more term called as critical speed will come into picture. So what is critical speed? It is that speed for which the given shunt field resistance becomes critical field resistance. So speed at which the shunt field resistance becomes critical field resistance is called as critical speed. Or we can tell it as the critical speed of a DC generator is the maximum speed above the DC generator where it causes damage or failing of the circuit. Okay, one more thing, students. I have given the numerical also in the internal exam, important questions from third unit. So that also I will be discussing here in this video. A 4-pole DC compound generator, armature, series and shunt field resistances of a 4-pole DC compound generator has armature, series and shunt field resistances of 1 ohms, 0.5 ohms and 100 ohms respectively. This generator delivers 4 kilowatt at a terminal voltage of 200 volts, allowing 1 volt per brush for contact drop. Calculate for both short and long shunt connections as the generated EMF and A bit the generated EMF and B bit flux per pole if the armature has 200 lap connected conductors and driven at 750 rpm. So what is the question or numerical here? A 4-pole DC compound generator having armature series and shunt field resistances of 1 ohms, 0.5 ohms and 100 ohms respectively. This generator delivers 4 kilowatt at a terminal voltage of 200 volts, allowing 1 volt per brush for contact drop. Calculate for both short and long shunt connections. First one, A bit the generated EMF. Second bit, B bit is flux per pole if the armature has 200 lap connected conductors and driven at 750 rpm. So this is a numerical for based on compound generator. So what we have to do for solving a numerical, first you have to write the given data. Okay. SOL is the solution here. So solution of the given numerical. First we are writing the given data. Given data is number of poles P is equal to 4. Series resistance RSC is given as 1 ohms. Shunt field resistance RSH is given as 0.5 ohms. Armature resistance RA is given as 100 ohms. And P is given as 4 kilowatt. This generator delivers 4 kilowatt at a terminal voltage of 200 volts. So power is given as 4 kilowatt. Terminal voltage V is given as 200 volts. Okay, so how to calculate IL? IL will be equal to 4 P by V. Okay, P is equal to VI. P is equal to V into IL. Okay, so from this IL will be equal to P by V. P is 4 into 10 power 3. Kilo means what? 10 power 3. So 4 into 10 power 3 divided by voltage is 200. So 20 amps is the load current. Now V brush is 1 volt per brush. It is given in the question. So what I said, if the value of V brush is given in the question, then take it. If they are not mentioned, then neglect it. Okay. So as they have mentioned 1 volt per brush, so we will consider. Two brushes are there, no? So 1 volt into 2, that is 2 volt. 2 volts will be the V brush. Number of conductors is given as Z is nothing but number of conductors, that is 200. Speed is given as 1500 rp, 750 rpm, and it is lap connected. Lap connected means A is equal to 2. Number of parallel pass is 2. So we have to find the first bit EMF generated, second bit flux. So first one, short shunt voltage drop in series winding is 20 into 1, 20 volts, and voltage drop across shunt field winding is 200 plus 20, 220 volts. So voltage drop in series winding is 20 into 1, whereas in shunt is 200 plus 20. And shunt field current is 220 by 0.5. Voltage divided by resistance, that is 440 amps. And for short shunt, IA is equal to IL plus ISH, that is IL is 20 plus ISH is 440, so it is 460 amps. IARA is 460 into RA is 100, it is given in the question, that is 46000, 46,000. Brush drop is 2, 1 volt per brush is given, so 2 brushes are there, na? So 2 into 1, that is 2 volt. And EMF equation for short shunt is EG is equal to V plus series drop plus brush drop plus IARA. So V is given as 200 plus series drop is 20 plus brush drop is 2 and IARA we have calculated 46,000. 46,000. So that is becoming 46,222 volts or 46.2 kilovolt. Next is flux per pole. EG is P5ZN by 68. So substitute all the values. EG value substitute, P value 5, all values you substitute, we have to find out the value of 5. So we know the EMF equation for a generator or back EMF of a motor, that it is given as P5ZN by 68. So in this equation what we are doing, substituting all the values and finding out the value of phi. So we are going to get the value of phi as 9.259 Webers. So EG value is 46222 is equal to P, number of poles is 4, 5 we have to calculate, Z is number of conductors is 200, N value speed is 750 divided by 60 into number of parallel passes 2 because it is a lap connected winding. So when you cross multiply and calculate, the value of flux is 9.259 Webers. Okay. So this we have for short shunt we have done. Now we have to do for long shunt. Long shunt, what it is asked in the question? long shunt, flux per pole if the armature has 200 lap connected conductors and driven at 750 rpm. Acha, for both short and long, we are calculating EMF and flux per pole. Okay. For short, we have calculated EMF and flux per pole. Now, same thing for long shunt. So, draw the diagram of long shunt. Okay. Write the equation for long shunt, that is IL is 20 amps, ISH is 200 by 0.5, 400 amps. So IA is equal to IL plus ISH, that is 20 plus 400, 420 amps. Series field drop is 420 into 1, 420 volts. Armature drop is 420 into 100, that is 42 into 10 power 3 volts. And brush drop is 2 into 1, 2 volts. So now EG will be equal to V plus series field drop plus armature drop plus brush drop. So adding all the values, same procedure of what we have done in short shunt. Only the changes with the equations. Okay. So we are finding out the EG. Then again substitute in this EG equation P5 EG is equal to P5 Zn by 68. Substitute all the values, find out the value of flux, that is 8.52 Webers. So I hope this numerical is clear to everyone. If you have any doubt, you can ask me, students. So two short questions and two long questions of whatever related with third unit. In the first mid exam, I have said it in this video. I hope today's class is clear to everyone. All of you should watch this video from start till the end. Very, very important video. And if you have any doubts, you can ask me, students. You can ask me doubts of first, second and third unit. Anything, you can ask me. I think everyone have my phone number also, because we are there in the WhatsApp group. We are there in the WhatsApp group. So my number will be there in the WhatsApp group. You can contact me directly. So students, what we have seen in this today's class, we have seen about the types of DC generators. So we have seen about the types of DC generators. So generator is a machine which converts mechanical energy into electrical energy, and DC generator will give us the DC output or DC voltage. DC generators based on type of excitation are of two types: separately excited and self-excited. Separately excited is the one whose field winding is excited separately through some battery or any other means, and self-excited generator is the one whose field winding is excited by the current of armature itself. Okay. So series generator are of three types: shunt, self-excited generators are of three types: series, shunt and compound. Series means what? Armature winding is in series with the field winding. Shunt means what? Armature winding is in parallel with the field winding. And compound means what? Both series and parallel connections are there. Under that we are having long shunt and short shunt. So in the short shunt we can see that only the connection diagram is changed for short shunt and long shunt. And one more type of compound generators are there, that is cumulative and differential. If the windings are aiding each other, then it is cumulative compound. If they are opposing each other, then it is cumulative compound. Then we have seen about the voltage buildup. 4 points are there. So all right, all these 4 points for short question I have asked. Okay. So voltage buildup, and second is what is critical field resistance and what is critical speed also we have seen. Then after that, what we have seen numerical we have seen based on compound generator. So that is for long shunt and short shunt, finding out the EMF and the value of flux. Okay. So this is for LAQ. This question is for LAQ, and types of excitation is for LAQ. These two, and critical field resistance and voltage buildup is in SAQ. I hope all the questions and answers are clear to everyone. If you have any doubts, you can ask me, students. Thanks for watching the video, and subscribe the channels of all the faculty members who are taking classes to you, and watch all the videos of all the subjects from start till the end, and get the knowledge, and uh, put all the important points or diagrams in your books. Okay, please maintain separate notes for all the subjects, and draw the diagrams and EM1 classes will now be very interesting, students, because now onwards we are actually going to see the very interesting topics. Okay, thank you everyone for watching the video.